Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to K12 Ventures Demo Day 2019. This is the second time we are hosting this event. Thank you for your support and participation. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Thomas Hans, the president of K12 Ventures, the CEO of Overwatch Safety Solutions. Welcome, Mr. Thomas.
Hello, everybody. Hey, I just want to make one thing really clear. You know, the guy that's really behind this is Dr. Yu's son, okay? So, my incredibly handsome face and the wonderful titles mean nothing. He's the guy that put this together, okay? Please remember that tonight. So, I'm going to talk to you about a few things to get things started. But may I first see a few show of hands on a couple things. Starting, the kids that are here tonight to present, could you raise your hands? Real high, everybody can see. All right. Now, can I have you put your hands down, and the parents and family members that are here to support those kids, can I see your hands? Pretty cool, huh? That's what this is all about. These young people are going to do incredible things. But a big part of how and why is because of their parents and their families that are supporting them here. We did this one, was it 1 year ago? It doesn't seem like it was a whole year ago when we did the last one. The parents and the family members really made the difference, and it will tonight too. So, for those of you that aren't aware of the purpose and vision, it is my shared goal with Dr. Sun to try to take what this is today as our second event, and I hope to help him build it so that we're doing perhaps quarterly events all around the Southern California area. And tonight you're going to see what that's all about. Now, I will tell you, this is going to take some resources. So everybody in here is going to hear from me in an email. I'm going to say, pony up, give Dr. Sun some money so we can make this work. All right, with all that in mind, let's go ahead. So I'm going to introduce the advisors. So, of course, Leanne, thank you. Wave your hand, please. She's the president and founder of STEM Advantage. She'll be part of our advisory team tonight. Dr. Ben, professor at Cal Poly, please raise your hand. Alex, there he is. Wave your hand. Let everybody know. Thank you. Henry doesn't have a face. I don't know why. Were you afraid to give us a picture? That's it, yeah. We're going to take a picture of you and email it to everybody now. You should have made it easy. Dr. Kang, raise your hand, please. Ed Banyan could not be here tonight. He was here last year. Very insightful guy. I think you'd enjoy him. And it's all about impact, innovation, investability. Some of the ideas you're going to see tonight, I'm basing this on last year, are going to be amazing. You're going to say, that's the next Google. That's the next Uber. We had how many kids? Was it 13 last year, Dr. Sun? 13. The young man that you know I'm referring to, what was he, 12? 6th grade young man, so we're around 10 probably. All the way up to seniors in high school. The idea is to get those innovative juices flowing. This may be your first time. Maybe you've done this a couple of times. But this won't be your last, because you're going to really learn a lot tonight from this panel and from the whole audience. So with that in mind, I think we're ready to roll. Oh, that's right. We got to talk about the awards. So there's going to be a few different awards: People's Choice, Judge's Choice. People's Choice will include votes from you guys. And then we have one more set, right? There we go. Business Star, Influencer, Innovation. So there's going to be a series of awards tonight. You'll see that all the kids will be recognized quite well here tonight. All right, are we done with that? Oh, and I better introduce you. How about the star of the show, everybody, Dr. Yu Sun.
All right, thanks, Tom. And again, once again, thank you so much for being here. It's always a great pleasure to have this demo day, because this is actually the moment that we have all the students pay their efforts, their work. Eventually, they can actually show what they have done. I just want to highlight one thing before I introduce the class of spring 2019. By working with the students, it really allowed me to see how much hard work they put in, but more importantly, how much support their parents gave for all their project and their work. So I really don't want to take too much of the time here, me talking, because I want to leave all the time for all the team and students to introduce what they have done, all this exciting work. So with that, I would like to really introduce you the class of 2019. And sorry, let me go back. And these are the 15 excellent students. I'm not going to call them students tonight, and they should be called as founders or co-founders. So let's definitely give them applause to see how many of them you know. So they're obviously all full-time students, but they're doing something really special. Besides finishing all their homework, assignment, project from school, they work really late every night and to get this extra project done. Now, the presentations you guys are going to listen later are business startup pitches. But one thing I really want to highlight is that they're not just pitching the ideas. They have the work done. They have the prototype to show you. That's really what differentiates this student from their peers. So this year, we are very glad to have these 8 projects. And I'm not going to give all these details. And they cover all different domains, different fields, different interesting ideas, solving problem about their own, about their family, friends, classmates. And so you will be excited to see all their great work. And also some of the quick facts here. I don't know if you saw their photos. Now this season, we have a large number of female students. Out of 15 students, 10 of them actually are female students. And then they did all the great work, just like the guys. They did the coding, they did the hardware, they did the AI, they did all these popular trending technologies. And again, the youngest entrepreneur this time also from 6th grade. You'll be surprised how much work they can do. And then a lot of them did software, a lot of them made apps, and they didn't just stop by their project by finishing the code. They actually published their app to the store, to Google Play or App Store. And some of them even did more than just finishing their coding. We have a lot of high school students, they did their papers. Some of the papers have been published, some of the papers are under review, but they actually not satisfied with just finishing the work, they want to do more research and experiments. And also, you will be surprised to hear that some of them are really getting into the entrepreneurship. They filed professional patents on what they have done on some of the specific technologies. And some of them actually have registered companies here in California. So these are all the students we have seen here, what they have accomplished. I'm very glad to see we have a lot of other students who are not part of this class this year, but this should be your goal. This should be your model. If they can do it, you will also do the same. All right, so with that, let's actually start the pitch today. And the format is really easy. So we totally have 8 teams, 8 projects, and each team will actually invite a very special guest to introduce the team, and then they will have about 1 minute to talk about what they like about the team, talk about why they want to introduce for the team, and then after that, each team will have 3 minutes to pitch and talk about their ideas, and then followed by that, we will have the judges and also the audience to ask questions. Today, I really encourage all the audience students to ask any questions you want, to challenge them, and try to learn from the communication with them. All right, so with that, actually, let's start our pitch today. So the first guest I would like to introduce is Ms. Mingya Xu. So she is the chief counselor from Mia Grid Academy. So let's welcome Ms. Xu.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mingya Xu. It is such an honor to be here to introduce my student, Mr. Zhi Hanlin. I met him 4 years ago. In my mind, he is not such a typical classical Chinese kid because he cannot play piano. But his saxophone is so gorgeous. He did a lot of jazz music. His cursive is not good, but his calligraphy is gorgeous too. I have some evidence over my phone. You can check later. So, for this project, as far as I know, he has a great passion on computer science, especially coding. So let's give him a big welcome, Mr. Zhi Hanlin. Thank you.
You're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up.
Hi everyone. So my name's Jihan Lin, and I'm from Northwood High School. And today I'm going to introduce you to the app I designed called Drive Safe. So nowadays, teen driving is gradually becoming a safety concern for many families and society. Look at the 2 graphs presented here. So this the number of injuries and the death in crashes involving drivers of different ages. And we can see for teenagers aging from 16 to 19, they have a significantly higher death number of injuries and death compared to drivers of other ages. And, so according to the US Department of Transportation, in 2016, speeding was a factor in 31% of teen driver fatalities. And according to the Centers for Disease Prevention and Controls, 2,433 teenagers in the United States, ages from 16 to 19, were killed in crashes. And according to the CADMV, the crash rate for 16 years old is 3.7 times higher than drivers of all ages. And the crash rate for teenagers aging from 16 to 19 is 2.7 times higher than the drivers of all ages. So how can we solve this problem? My solution is an application that can detect unsafe driving behaviors with embedded sensors in the phone. They can also send out text to register numbers when dangerous or unsafe acts are being detected. It is currently able to detect speeding, frequent lane changes, and exceedingly loud music that might impair the driver's ability to make judgments.
What is safe drive? Safe Driver is a mobile application designed to detect teenager drivers' unsafe behaviors such as frequent lane changes, speeding, or even playing loud music that might impair their judgment ability. When unsafe behavior is detected, driver will receive a warning and at the same time, a text message will be sent out to the driver's parents to notify such behavior. This is Safe Drive.
Yeah, a pretty simple video introducing like the basic functions of my application. And yeah, so this app, I believe, has a really big market size because there were 221.7 million licensed drivers in the United States in 2016. And the young drivers accounted for 5.4% of them. So it's a total of 12.1 million drivers in 2016. My business model is basically, I want to cooperate with local high schools and local driving schools to promote this application. On Google Play stores, I will provide a free to download version with the very basic functions. And also, I will provide individual and organization subscription for premium versions, which unlocks more like functions. And yeah, so before the app starts, there will be a 3 seconds advertisement time, and so of like advertisement from local restaurants and stores. Currently, there are some similar applications on the market, but so for Safe Drivers, it provides drivers real-time location with their parents, and it provides real-time like notification when speeding occurs. But it only detects limited unsafe behaviors, and it does not work on the background. And another thing is text execution. It reads out incoming text, so drivers don't have to manually check for the messages, but it locks the message feature and sends an alert to parents when the children try to access the message app. So comparing these two apps, my application is very convenient, and it has a really high degree of freedom for the users, while it also providing the very essential safety solutions. So my current marketing plan is a mix between the viral engine and the paid engine. So basically, it establishes on users' referrals and paid advertising. I will promote the applications in school, and I will contact local driving schools to advertise the applications to teen drivers who choose to be coached at the driving school. Also, I will establish official account on social medias and update regularly to gain popularity. And if I can raise money on GoFundMe, I will push out ads on YouTube targeting teens and the parents to further like publicize my application. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello, thank you. First of all, that was a great presentation. I think that is a huge need. I think you've definitely identified a very big problem, so I applaud you for trying to tackle that. I'm just curious, I couldn't tell from the presentation, are students using this? Like, do you have some people that are testing it out, and what type of feedback are you getting from them?
Currently, yes, I tested out this app with like 2 of my friends, and I tested out this app as well. And I think it is pretty effective in detecting some like unsafe behaviors, and parents can get very like instant notifications if any like unsafe driving behaviors occurs. Yeah, overall like the range of testing is still relatively small, and I wish I can like promote it to more like people so they can test it out.
So what will it take then for you to be able to test it out with more people? Is it a matter of money? Is it a matter of going out like to other students in your school and trying to promote it, or what's your next step?
So my current plan is I'll maybe like cooperate with the members of my like school computer science club, and I can promote the applications during like regular club meetings, or even like when there are like safety meetings in our school occurs, I will like try to promote it. And yeah, but like right now my promotion plan hasn't involved much like money or like.
Thank you.
Well, Scott.
Hello. Good presentation, Zihua. Just a curious question. Your application is sending out notification to parents or concerned parties. Does it provide any function to alert the driver about possible dangerous behavior?
Yeah, so my video has shown that, so once like unsafe like driving behaviors occurs, let's say like if the driver's speed exceed like 45 miles per hour, and the phone will vibrate and a notification will like pop up on the phone, telling the driver that there is an unsafe like behavior that's occurring right now, and you should like be more careful.
Just as a follow-up on that, what kind of notification is it? Is it voice notification, I assume?
Excuse me?
Is it a voice notification, an audio
Yes.
notification?
Yeah, so the phone will vibrate and a voice will be like this, a sound will be displayed just to get the driver's attention.
Okay. And then one more comment about the actual look and feel of the application. That's my area, user interfaces and so on. You were showing the accelerometer on the display. Is that actually what you're showing to a user?
Yes, so this is one of the problems with my application right now. It's still a prototype, and I wish like in my further development, I wish I can design a more like graphical user interface. Maybe like I can actually show like drivers that they are frequently changing lanes instead of just using the accelerometer to like show the.
Exactly, some sort of visualization or something like that is what I would have proposed. All right, thank you.
I guess I would put on the hat of an investor. I'm pretending I have money to invest, right? So it's great, right? I want to be your first customer against the wish of my daughter, for example. But on the other hand, how much money you think you need to start with? And how do you reach that amount, and how are you going to spend it? And how long it's going to take you to get to a point where you can generate enough cash flow to support your business?
Sorry about like this question.
Yeah, sure. That's no problem. It's, I mean, it's understandable. But on the other hand, if you're starting a venture, and money is something that you can't do without, so that's.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with a few, okay? By the way, may I recommend, I'll do this for you and for all the people that come after you, either speak up really loud or speak into the microphone. It's hard, I know. First thing is, I want to tell you, I love your logo. Who made that logo for you? It's really cool.
I made it myself.
You made it yourself, okay. Now that being said, I don't like the name, and let me tell you why. It'll be impossible to protect it. There's a reason why companies have names like Google that don't mean much, but they build brand identity over time. So you got to be thinking about a name that maybe not says what you're doing, but you can protect that intellectual property. May I suggest for your presentation, put your features in a chart with some graphics. Graphics like your logo, okay? For us to understand, because I know some of us are going, was that included or was that in the competition? And then also for the competition, put that in a chart so we can understand it. And then lastly, and this might be a source for money, I don't know, but organizations like Mothers Against Drunk Drivers and so on, a local chapter, they might help you out a little bit with this. So don't hesitate to go see them. And if they turn you down, just keep talking to other people. Okay? Cool.
Just want to give my 2 cents. So the app, is that used by the teen, or is that?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
used by
I think you need to think about from a parent standpoint. So imagine if you are the teen, are you like, is your mom ask you to use it, or is that yourself? Oh, I just want to be nice. I just want to be, thinking from a parent standpoint, right? So it's just like if I'm self-awareness of, oh, I gotta be safe, right? It's from a user perspective, right? If I'm a teen, if I'm self-awareness, right? Chances are I might not need the app. Obviously, they don't know what they're doing. I think that's what you try to sell. I think a lot of them is the parents dictate. So your marketing strategy should go after the parents. So parent would force all the kids would have the app if you want to drive. So that's one. The other thing, it's also, obviously there's a lot of technology. You learn that about that. Once you learn more. But I think one of the key is the drive, the speeding, right? Like how do you, managing, like is that a certain speed? Like how do you, like Google Map, that what's the maximum speed on, freeway, local street, each, stop sign and stuff, things like that. So I think it's also you try to communicate. A lot of time, the awareness is more like from a parent's side, you want to make them feel like it's safe. So it's really monitoring, like how's my son's doing, right? He's driving to, let's say, watching a movie. I want to say, oh my goodness, what is going on, right? He's driving like 85 or something. So I think those would be, those are, think about from that perspective. Any questions from the audience? Students? Any questions? All right, great job, Justin.
Wait, actually, I just saw a hand.
Oh, sorry.
What embedded server did you use on like the phone? Is it only specific to Android or also iPhone?
Right now, it's only available on platform.
Okay. So did you use for the sensors part? What did you use? Like what can it detect?
So right now, the GPS and the embedded like accelerometer is being used and also like the microphone to detect the volume of the music. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I think you just said that this app is for iPhone. Is that right?
It's on Android.
Oh, it's only Android. But I'm just saying that if you wanted to, also put it in iPhone, iPhone now they have this like driver mode. And for that driver mode, is like when you're actually driving, you won't receive any messages. And since you said that you want to send message when there's like it's too loud or you're like over speeding, and I feel like there's a more security concern when you're like actually looking at your phone while you're driving than actually like speeding and paying attention on actually what's going on the road. So I just have a few advice. Maybe instead of like using like message to, text them or like send like notifications, you can try other ways. Maybe like have like some like a physical alarm, so to actually alarm them like in the car without they have to actually look at the phone for the message. Yeah.
Thank you for your advice. I'm sorry if I didn't clarify this like enough. But so when unsafe driving behaviors like occurs, the phone will like push out like a notification and a sound will be displayed. Will be displayed. So like when like the driver is speeding, so they will hear like the warning sound and they will know like they are driving unsafely.
Thank you, Justin. Hey, well, thanks again, Justin. That was a great work. And then let's see the second project here. With that, I'd like to introduce one of our old friend here. Yeah, so Miss Zhang, she is a program manager from the Cities Avionics. So she has been helping so much for the event. If you remember, she was also one of the judges from last year. So let's welcome Miss Zhang here.
Good evening. I'm so thrilled to see such a great turnout tonight. My name is Shah Zan. I'm a program manager in an aerospace company. I have been in the technology field for many, many years and have worked with a lot of young and talented engineers. The youngest engineers I have worked with are typically college interns or college graduates in their early 20s. As technology advances, who would think the younger generation, middle school and high school kids, well, the youngest are sixth graders, can develop and publish their own app and start their entrepreneurship at such a young age. Tonight, I'm proud and honored to introduce Team Maja, a group of high school girls brought together by fascinating idea and driven by their passion and dedication to apply what they have learned to solve real-world problems. And also, I want you to see throughout this process how they have transformed themselves from mommy's little girls to innovators and leaders. Let's welcome Team Maja.
Maybe can they see? Yeah, I was concerning.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are Team Maja, taken from our initials.
My name is Matisse.
My name's Elena.
My name's Joanne.
And I'm Amanda.
And today we're going to introduce our app, Reminiscence. So our app tackles the problem of dementia. So what exactly is dementia?
How many of you guys have heard of dementia or know what it is? I see a show of hands. Yeah, have you heard of it?
I forgot already.
Okay.
So here's some few examples of cases of dementia. For example, if someone can't remember the direction home, or they can't remember their daughter's name or their son's name. So that's some cases of dementia.
So how do you know if someone has dementia? Some common symptoms are memory loss, mental confusion, inability to speak, and anxiousness.
50 million. That is the number of people who suffer from dementia globally. Because it is such a great number, we have to take it serious and do something.
Our app, Reminiscence, tackles the problem of dementia through three main sections in our app, which are games, user stats, and lifestyle. We'll be explaining these in more detail in our demonstration video.
So here's a demo video. This is our main screen, and it's not playing. Can you click one more time? Oh. This is the tutorial page for the users, and then this is our main screen. Here's our game screen. Our first game is called Remember the Tile. So basically there's a placement of tile, and the user have to remember it, and then they check their answer, and that's kind of a way. And our second game is to remember the shape. So there's like different colors and shape, and the user have to like kind of correspond to the previous one, and they do get points for it. And the third one is step trackers. So they track the steps of the user, and once they reach like a specific goal that they want to reach, there's like a picture like congratulations. And here's our user stats page. It tracks the progress, and then the lifestyle gives tips and like recipes, like how to eat healthier, how to live healthier. And then we also have a supplementary family app for the users' family members. We have like phone numbers that they can input to call them. They can track their locations. They can also send messages in times of emergency. So it's kind of just like a all-around app that can ensure their safety.
Well, our fund will mainly from three sections: premium features, ads, and donations. This is our market size, 13% of global population, because this is the group of people have potential to get dementia. They are mainly the people 65 years old or above.
As you can see, these are some pretty good apps on the market, which are mainly targeted for study purposes, but most of them are targeted to the younger generation who are 50 years and younger. And since our app, Reminiscence, is mainly targeted for dementia people, so we will be one of a kind.
So our initial investment accounts to $15,000. I know it's a lot. And we kind of split it in $8,000 in app development, $5,000 in the startup cost, and then $2,000 in the app design. And that is all for today. Thank you, and we'll start the questions.
Well, first of all, I love seeing young women entrepreneurs, so I think this is really outstanding. So congratulations to all of you. You're so poised, you have so much promise. So thank you for presenting here today. So my question is, have you tested this yet? You know, are you at the point that you have, you know, you showed us the app a little bit, so have you shared it with maybe grandparents or, you know, with some other folks to try it?
This app is actually one of the unpublished one. We haven't really tried the app because we feel like it's not complete enough. For example, we only have 2 games, and then it's not enough to really track the user progress. But I would love for my grandparents to test it out and see how they feel. But yeah, the feedback would be great if I can ask them to try it.
So what will it take like for you to go to the next step? Because I saw some of those games that you had. How did you come up with those? Like, were you working with somebody who works with dementia folks, or how did you come up with that, and how will you go forward?
So actually, we researched online, and there are like basic games that does not require like Wi-Fi or anything. It's just like those old games. We kind of transform those into like those games are helpful for like cognitive learning. So we kind of transform those into the games we have today on the app.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add to Leanne's question on whether you've tested it with other people before. My advice is any good app, you actually have a cycle of you build a little, test a little, go back, build some more, because that way you will actually find out, well, where are the big problems, and you can rectify them right away. You can change what doesn't work right away, and you don't develop too much down a path that actually doesn't lead you anywhere. So my advice is test it right now. Don't say it's not complete. It doesn't even have to be it doesn't have to be anything. As long as you have something that you can have people test, go right now, test it right now, because it's great.
Thank you for the advice. We'll definitely try to run it.
Okay, I got a couple. I love the logo. Is that supposed to be a dolphin, by the way? It's very cool.
Yeah.
And it's reminiscent, not reminiscence, right? 'Cause
Right.
we have it written here a little bit differently. Either one's cool. Have you done anything to check the name out, to find out how it's being used, how prolific it is out there in the .com, .net, everything world?
No.
Should. Okay? You might end up changing the name because of that. Okay. Were you going to add to that? Oh, it looked like you were going to say something.
Yes. So the logo was designed by us, and it was drawn by me, and we choose dolphin to represent represent our app was because dolphin is a really smart animal and mammal, and it has a great memory. So since our app is targeted to dementia people, we hope they can get as great memory as dolphins.
Okay, cool. And one last piece, and I guess it ties into what you were saying. There's a whole bunch of senior centers out there, and these are not necessarily people with dementia, they're just seniors. You might be able to get them to be great testers for you. But tying into that, when you do this, think about the frustration factor that older people have. They may not want to hear the word dementia, okay? They may just want to hear that's going to help them with their memory. And also, you might want to have different levels of games because you want them to accomplish something and maybe go to the next level, right? Yeah, you've been thinking about that, right? Cool. What you don't want to do is get your users, elderly people, mad at the app and at you. You want them to maybe have a little fun and challenge themselves as they go along. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me ask him a question. I'm closing to being a senior, I guess, so I sort of forget about things. So I really love your game, but let's say I'm a potential customer. Come to my door, you knock on the door, you're trying to sell it. Then I'm asking, am I buying the application, or am I paying a subscription, or am I playing it and earn some points I can use somewhere else, and so on and so forth. And how many game levels that you have? You know, I want to grow, right? I want to see that if I play the same game for like a month, I get bored, but do you have a higher level? And I want to keep grow with the game. And so what is a revenue model in that sense that you get people hooked rather than, you know, they play with it for 3 weeks, they're done with it, right? How do you keep them in it, right?
Okay, to answer your first question, how do we pay for the app? So our original intention was that you can download it free on the App Store or Google Play Store, and then we have what we call premium features. So once we develop the app further, we'll have more games possibly, or a more detailed user analysis, and that will be part of the premium features. So at first it will be free, and then if you think it's useful, you would pay those premium features like monthly subscriptions. And for the games, because we really do want to put out more games on the app, and so the users could switch up the games that they want to play, and they can, I'm not sure about how the incentives for keep playing the games, but it's a challenge for the seniors to challenge themselves, and I think that would be one of the incentives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, as an add-on to that, since we're still developing our own app, we will keep on adding new updates to the games. For example, one of our earliest prototype of game, we were thinking to make a game that has a technology of recognize people's face. And once we're kind of developing that technology, we will let the seniors to we'll develop this game that help the seniors to remember people's faces. And these are some of the earliest such, which is pretty cool, and we will keep on working on that. Thanks.
I have a quick question. Different from Zihan's project, you're working as a team. How do you expect this team to grow to handle the real rollout of this project? What strengths do you each contribute to this project?
Okay, so we all have different strengths. For example, Matisse here is our main programmer. She writes most of the things on this app. And there are people like me who likes to present stuff, which is why I'm the one who's mainly speaking here. So we all play to our own strength, and that is why a team is sometimes better than an individual, and this is why we like to work as a team and then play at our strength and then perfect the app.
One thing, keep in mind is themselves seldom actually buy this. Caregivers, family. So help them. They'll want it.
How does your app compare to Elevate or Lumosity, some other mental training applications already out there?
So yes, we do have a lot of competitions. For example, when I was thinking of this our own app, I was thinking of some of the language games I was always playing. But since our app, as I said, was mainly targeted to seniors, so we will make it more senior friendly, and we will make the features more suitable for them. And we also have a lot of data analysis, and that was target specifically to the users, and things, yeah, we want to do good for them.
And I keep answering. And also, our app is not just limited to the games. We also have a section that was really quick on the video. There's a section called lifestyle. So we have tips like you should eat more omega-3, like fish, or there's a diet that you have to keep to like keep the level of healthiness, that kind of thing. That's like the lifestyle page, which Lumosity and the other apps absolutely do not have. So I think that's also a very unique point that our app has.
So I want to ask, like, since your program and app is mostly geared toward dementia peoples, right? I feel like having such a long name as for the app, they might not actually remember it, and since like they're probably gonna forget most of the stuff they learn. So like, wouldn't having like a notification or anything pop up daily will be able to help them remember to use the app, or and just not like forget about them?
That's a That's a good question. Well, it is a long name, but we have logo and it's quite memorable, and I think it kind of reminds them if they see the logo on their phone. And also remember, we have a supplementary like family app that the family's users handle on their own phone. So we can, maybe one of our potential solution will be through that family app, we can notice the family members instead of, we can notify both parties, and family members would just be like an extra security to make sure that the user will actually properly use the app.
What advertisements will you be showing to the people with dementia?
Well, the kind of ad we're gonna show is some cooking website that will help the user to have a habit to eat healthier, because according to our research, it will help us help to slow down the process of dementia.
Little guy in the far left here. Got a question.
I give the microphone to him.
Looks little to me. You have a question. You have a question, right?
I have a comment. Yeah. Well, comments are welcome, always.
Let's stand up. Stand up and give your comment.
Okay. Maybe you should have a game where the elderly compete against the AI or something, and you have the AI waits 10 seconds, and if the elderly can't get it, the AI gives her the answer, and then they just keep doing it, and then maybe they have a leaderboard or something.
Oh, that's a good idea. That would be like a challenge to the, why they want to keep playing the game. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Ready.
Thank you.
I understand that you're trying to help these seniors with dementia and stuff, but a lot of seniors have deteriorating eyesight, and wouldn't staring at a screen make it worse?
That's an interesting question. Haven't thought about that.
That's why they have glasses, right?
Yes.
Okay. Before I hand it over to you, by the way, I think you should, number one, you got to lose the word dementia, okay? Because people like me, and I'm like 80, you don't want to, I want to be able to use this thing. He says he's near the age, I'm near the age. I know your mom isn't anywhere close to the age, but somebody else in here, you should get the people in this room to start testing it. Because this is a cool idea. Long before we get dementia, okay?
Just quick two questions. First of all is, how do you settle on this particular topic of interest? I mean, you know, being in high school doesn't really go very hand in hand with dementia. So that's one question I have. The second question is, how do you manage your project alongside the school homework, and also, you know, how the team can work together, you know, efficiently? Thanks.
Amanda came up with the idea, so she's gonna explain.
So, like Alina explained, and Matisse, we have we're like targeted towards a really large audience of 50 million people. So we think that this is a really important topic to address, and we hope that this app can help them.
And then for like, how do we manage? Is that the question, to do this while we have school? Okay, is that the question? Okay. Well, we meet every single week at like a building. And we typically spend like 2 to 3 hours there, and then because we're all from different schools and different areas, so we meet at a location and we work on it. And then we also have our dear Dr. Sun, who helped us with the app.
Does he have dementia?
Hopefully not.
Just checking, because he couldn't remember to call me the other day, and I thought maybe
no.
not. All right. This little guy has another question, and I enjoyed his first comments.
So, say like if this person forgets like what her daughter's name is, like does it like can she, like the person like tell the app, I forgot what my daughter's name is, and like the app just tells her?
Ooh, kind of like Siri.
Yeah. A little AI into this thing over time. It's a cool idea.
Well,
okay, you also have a question. Yeah.
No, it was a suggestion though. So basically, what you guys point at elder generation. So what I'm thinking is that since right now the elder generation doesn't use iPhone or phone that much, so you can maybe have like another supplement app with like their sons or daughter that can chat the progress or the game with the elders, so you can see like let them remind them instead they maybe play them themselves, since like it's like benefiting for their health.
Okay, thank you. We do
that
have
kind of ties into what I was saying earlier. Remember who's really going to choose this? The caregivers, the kids who may be adults themselves, right? Hold on, one more here. Then I think we'll wrap this one up.
Oh my, sorry, Elena, I stepped on your iPad. Well, she's my sister.
Is this what you wanted to talk about? Okay. Well, sorry, step on it again. I should get a new one.
So did Elena drew the logo?
Yes, I did.
Oh, nice job.
Okay, that was a fix.
Well,
Just
I'm glad to have
quick
some.
comment. You talk about from a business standpoint, the 50 million people, right? That's a great market. But I think we need to understand, or you guys need to figure it out, like you mentioned about the seniors is your target audience. So out of the 50, like what's your target range? 40 to 60, 50 to 60. And out of that range, like who's the user for using like iPhone or Android phone, right? Probably all the kids, you guys all have phone. Like if your grandma has a phone. probably. So you need to understand your market a little bit so you have a better understanding. Like out of that 51 billion, whatever number, right? You need to probably get down to a little bit more detailed understanding who you're going to target. It might be the caregiver. So you know how to build what to solve that problem.
Right.
But it's a very valid problem.
Right.
All right, well, thanks a lot, girls. Good job. All right, let's move on. And then next, I want to introduce a very special guest. He is Mr. Norman Chen. So Mr. Chen is actually an experienced investor, but he's here today to invest in a very special project from his daughter. So let's welcome Mr. Chen here.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So I'm here. I'm very glad to introduce my daughter, Melissa Chen's Doorbell project. Actually, recent years, you see the smart home system market is growing really, really fast, and product getting popular and popular because it brings us a lot of convenience, and people like it. Actually, Melissa's Doorbell project is actually part of the smart home system. So I know that she used the trending technologies like the cloud calculation and the self-learning technologies. You will see how smart it is. And for this project, Melissa also did a lot of real-life studies for the real-life scenarios, and she also proposed the solutions for those real-life problems. So you will see how real they are. So since I have provided the initial investment here, now it is a chance for you guys to take the opportunity to work with Melissa in such an exciting market. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Imagine it's Sunday morning. You're sleeping soundly, but the Amazon delivery man pressed your doorbell, and he just wants to inform you that your package is here. Or you're like me, who have a baby brother, and he loves napping, but he often got woken up by this unnecessary doorbell and starts to cry. So when doorbell is rung at the wrong time, or by an unwanted person, the deafening ringing tone can definitely interrupt people's normal life rhythm easily, making them feel extra tired. So I'd like to introduce Quiet, a smart doorbell that makes decisions on its own. So Quiet can notify the user through two methods, either by ringing like a normal doorbell or notifying user through phone notifications discreetly, or both. And this is all based on the familiarity between the user and the visitor. So to classify a person as familiar, the user needs to upload their photos to the cloud beforehand. And if Quiet can't recognize the person, then meaning that the photo is not on the cloud, then the doorbell won't ring and will send out notification instead. And user can also decide for this do not disturb mode to be activated during only certain time period. And now let me make my description more tangible through a demo.
First, let's log into our account in Quiet app. Here we can see the record of our last visitor. Now Mr. Bean is at the door. He is about to ring the bell. He pressed the button. The camera will then be activated. and his face will be recorded and uploaded to the cloud for facial recognition. Once the facial recognition is done, the result will be sent to the user's phone. The user will then receive a notification. Since Mr. Bean's face is recognized by the doorbell, meaning he is an expected guest instead of a random person, the doorbell will then start ringing, along with the phone notification. On the user's phone, there will be a picture of the visitor with the time they visited and the prediction of who they are.
So as you can see, this is the prototype I used in the video. So marketing. Overall, there's a really broad market for quiet because it is for anyone who doesn't want to be interrupted when they are working. For business model, the user will be free to download the app and will be able to sign up for the account for free too. They can also choose to pay $1.99 per month to have access to the historical records and also be able to save those photos to the cloud. So the advertisement will be based on a viral engine, meaning that we'll encourage the current user to tell the people around them about quiet. So one of our main competitor will be Ring. But as you can see, our purposes are different, and what's more, our price differs significantly. As for Ring, even the cheapest model costs almost like double our price. So in the future, I'll be focusing on optimizing the app and connecting it to be part of the smart home device and recognition, not just for face, but also on some obvious characteristics, say like uniforms and name tags of the delivery man. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That was an excellent presentation. You have a very nice style and way of presenting. So with this app, like I've asked others, have people been trying it? Because your app seems a little more advanced. So have you tested it out?
Yeah, me myself, I tested out for like many times, but I haven't let my neighbors try it out yet because as you see, I only have a prototype right now. Like the actual doorbell, I haven't developed that yet. So yeah.
So is that your next step? Is that like what you'll do then to try to get some experience with it and get some feedback from people?
Yeah, that's actually my next step. To like actually like produce the doorbell so we can like actually let a lot of people to try them out.
Thank you.
Well, question.
Hello, interesting idea. I'm just curious, in our phone, you already have gallery that has, and contact that has a lot of pictures of your acquaintances. So maybe you can consider tapping into those media to have permission to go into different folders to pick up faces that you already recognize instead of going to the cloud.
Oh, that's actually a great idea. So like it's like the real self-learning. Like it can actually learn by itself. So yeah, I'll definitely take that into account for my future idea. Thank you.
Again, a quick comment. I think you mentioned about your competitors, right? I feel like Ring is definitely your partner, not your competitor. Because think about a doorbell, right? A doorbell, it's everything, not just quiet, right? It's security. It is the security. It is your face recognition, obviously. Be able to ideally lock your door, unlock your door, handle everything. So it's not just, you're not trying to solve one problem, especially they all like doorbell. I think you need to think about from that business strategy.
Okay. Melissa, I want to tell you, I agree with her. Great presentation, much better than that guy that introduced you. Well, where'd he go? Okay. No, but I have some genuine concerns. It's my opinion that the market for add-on doorbells, smart doorbells, is pretty saturated. But the market for add-on services, follow-on services like yours, in other words, I'm trying to suggest forget the hardware, offer the service. He just gave you an example of where all the pictures and contacts, everything on your social media. Be that company rather than trying to build something, because you just added up a few parts and came up with a cost. I can tell you, Ring can do that too. They can make it a lot cheaper than you'll ever be able to make it. And they don't want to be everything for everybody. You have a great opportunity to build a really cool business. And it's a little bit like Airbnb or Uber. There are all kinds of companies starting businesses to service those customers that aren't the main original company. And you could be that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that quiet is just one that you want it to be quiet, but I think you may be even underselling yourself, because I think you have a lot of interesting ideas about the pictures of who comes and then the historical records and so on. It's much more than just being quiet. So I think you can branch out, especially if you ditch the hardware, as you suggested, and become this servicing company that does even more, because you already do more than just staying quiet. So yeah.
Build an app if you break the microphone.
Oh, I got it. Okay. So you know that you said that the camera identified the people that were already put in the camera. What if it's someone unexpected, but it's someone you know and you know that it's something important? What would you do then?
So if I don't have his photo on the cloud already, then I wouldn't turn off I wouldn't turn on this the do not disturb mode, because since his photo is not on the cloud already, meaning the doorbell won't recognize him, so it won't ring. So if I don't want to miss that, then I won't turn the do not disturb mode on.
But then, as I said, it's unexpected, so you don't know when he or she will come. So what if the photo is not on the cloud and they came at a time that you turn on the do not disturb?
I will still be able to receive the notification through my phone, so I will still know he's here. It's just the doorbell won't ring.
Oh, okay, got it.
Who'll be next? I think we have somebody on this side. Okay. Come on out in the center. If you have a question, please come out in the center and stand up and speak loud like me.
Just for curious, I wonder for the function of the app recognizing and predicting the people as what kind of guest, and did you use an AI with deep learning, neural network, or other kind of AIs?
Oh wait, sorry. Can you repeat what you say at the end? Did I use what?
Did you use an AI with deep learning, like neural network?
Yes, I did use that. I use Amazon Cloud for facial recognition, and that includes deep learning and neural network.
Nice. Okay.
Cool. And then the young lady that breaks laptops, right? Is that what you?
Yep.
Speak up.
So what if your postman change? Would the app recognize that person? Like, what if your postman change? Postman.
Oh, what if my deliveryman changed?
Yeah.
So since the doorbell can't, because I didn't put any deliveryman's photo on the cloud, so it won't recognize him anyway. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let him go, then you guys, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, when like the Amazon person walks to your doorstep, like he wants a signature. It's like when he presses the button, it doesn't ring because it's quiet. So, is he gonna like, are you gonna like have like camera thingy or surface thingy that says the owner has been notified, or like you just have the Amazon guy keep on pressing the button until it breaks?
So I did take that into account. So that's why I still have the phone notification along with the silence doorbell. So the reason for the phone notification is for the situation that like you don't want to miss an important but unexpected event. So say like I need a signature, I would just go to the door and open.
How are you supposed to notify that the delivery man that the owner knows if they're like he can't hear the doorbell?
You mean when they need a signature?
No, they're standing at the door.
Uh-huh.
Like how are they supposed to know that the owner knows? Because the doorbell doesn't like it makes no sound. Is there like a surface that says like the
You
owner
guys
has
need to
been
talk
notified?
after she's done. Okay, I'm going to add one thing, and then we have a couple more people. By the way, if you go the direction that Ben was suggesting and I was suggesting, this becomes much more than a quiet, okay? For example, you might actually use a photo of somebody that you are on the lookout for. There's many, many people, many women especially, that don't want certain people to come to their home. And you might be able to alert on that face. So it becomes more of a security feature as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to we got two more, and then we're going to go to the next one.
Just a little suggestion here. So as everyone knows, you won't have every single like policeman and deliverman in your database. So just adding a suggestion that you can make your camera recognize their closest. Like
she mentioned that.
Yeah. As I said, for my future development, I'll definitely add that feature.
Okay. Wish you luck.
Okay, last one.
Just thinking that what if one of your friend is coming and because he has something like catch a cold and wears a mask or something, well, I think that's the biggest problem for the recognition. And people won't just wear the same clothes for the whole year or something. Yeah.
Okay, you're thinking about the guy Freddy in the Halloween movies? Okay, Dr. Sun, do you have anything you want to add? Okay, we're good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Melissa. So next project is with this guest from actually UC Irvine. So she is a UC Irvine alumni, and see where the slide is. And let's welcome Ms. Paris Torini.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So I actually, as Dr. Yu mentioned, I actually graduated from UCI with my Master's of Public Health in 2018, and I'm currently working at Advanced Academy, and Patrick is one of my students. So I'm here to give a little bit of an introduction about his app and why I love it so much. So, according to the World Health Organization, in recent years, the rising global burden of chronic disease is mainly attributed to poor diet and exercise, especially among the elderly population. Effective interdisciplinary interventions that combine public health, medicine, and technology are necessary in order to capture and meet the health needs of patients worldwide. It is especially imperative to fully utilize the technological advancements that are currently at our disposal. So Patrick's app, Health Foodies, strives to do just that. I commend its user-friendly interface and customizable features, and I believe it will remove the stress and uncertainty that comes with navigating through an extensive amount of food myths and facts. And as a public health researcher and mentor, I am certain this will be an invaluable tool that can be used across all populations, from the elderly and disabled who are closely monitoring their health to younger individuals who are practicing primary health prevention. This app would be the first of its kind to transcend its users' age, current health status, and background. It goes without saying that an investment in healthy foodies is not only an investment in technology, but also a true investment in the health of our nation and beyond, and I'm excited for its future. Thank you.
Like nobody else, the way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Patrick, and I'm a junior at University High School. Hi. And this is my app, Healthy Foodies. Right. So there are a lot of problems going on right now, such as online health articles, like the information they provide you are very unconcentrated, and on the other hand, my bad. All right, here we go. So there are a lot of problems going on right now. So first problem is that the information on online health articles, they are loosely concentrated. And the second problem is that the seniors, they have problems, they usually have problems on doing researches on internet. And that's why we have Healthy Foodies. So this is an app that utilizes deep learning, so that you can use deep learning to scan food in real life and gives the information about and so you can scan food in real life and gives the user information about the food's impact on certain health problems. And it is fast, convenient, and the information provided are very concise. And in a searching process, no typing is required. All right, so the screenshot on the left is the selection page, and the screenshot in the middle is called result. And here's the demo. So as you can see, when the user first enters the app, it will be on a section page. And let's say I want to know about the avocado's effect on diabetes, fatty liver, and heart diseases. And after that, we press OK. And then you have your avocado. And when you put your avocado in front of you, it will scan the food instantly and provide all of the information that you just chose from the selection page. And as you can see, all of the information up there are all the health problems that we just chose in the selection page. And all of the information are very concise. And for the second example is a cabbage. And similar to the first example, you just gotta put your phone in front of the food and it will scan the food instantly. And all of the information are still the ones that we chose. And for the third example is a bag of almonds. In this case, you don't even need to put the food. So in this case, you don't even need to put take out the food from the package. You can basically just scan the food through the plastic bags, and you got the results. And for the marketing size, so the total available market is the total senior population around the world, which is about 670 million. And for the serviceable available market, we have a senior population within the United States, which is about 47 million. And for a serviceable obtainable market, we have a senior population in the US who have access to the internet. And for the business model, this app profits from advertisement and from premium features that contains more functionalities. And there are also some competitors out there. One is cholesterol food references, and the second one is called Foodwiser. So the advantage for Healthy Foodies is that it can scan food, present nutrition facts, and it contains database for multiple health problems. And for the marketing plan, so the app will advertise on social media, and it will utilize a sticky engine. And this is the funding for my project. So in total, I need $10,000 and $5,000 for advertisement, $3,000 for database optimizing, and $2,000 for consulting. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I thought that was a great presentation, and I think there are huge opportunities for this. So I'm curious. Well, first of all, I like your name because it is general. As you talked about earlier, having kind of healthy foodies, you can go so many different directions, right? Because even for example, you talked about seniors, but even like diabetics or something, you know, so different health areas. So is it, I just wanted to clarify, so are you using your phone? Is that the advantage? Like, you know, you're kind of using it and it's scanning, and based upon the need, it's coming back at you? Okay. Well, I think that's a great market. So have you started to test it out then?
Yeah.
And what type of feedback are you getting?
Can you repeat your last question again?
Oh, what type of feedback are you getting? Like, have you started to test it? You know, do you have it developed or prototype?
It's already been published on Google Play.
Oh.
Yeah. And the accuracy that I'm testing right now is about 93%. And currently I only have 8 food out there, and for certain I will add more food in the database. And so for the feedback part, so when you scan it, so before you scan it, you can select the health problems that you want to know about the type of food. And after you select all of your health problems, you go to the next page, which you will scan the food. And later, it will provide the feedback, which is about like the food's impact on certain health conditions that you just chose from the selection.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a great application. You know, if I'm trying to find something like a healthy facts. Closer. Okay, right. Someone, this business idea. Yeah, it's a great thing for me to get started. Obviously, I worry about if it's a stinky fish, how do I hold it and do that? But on the other hand, how do you prevent copycat or whatever? So in other words, a lot of other people can follow, say, me too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, to have a sustained business model, what is a core competitive advantage that you yourself, not just the technology itself, so that you know, could be like, you know, I have a high IQ, right? I'll keep innovation. It could be, I believe in my product superiority. Or it can be, I have a keen sense of market. I will always get the right food in my database, nobody else can. Whatever, what do you consider that as your core competitive advantage that will give you a sustained, you know, business, right?
Right.
Thank you.
So the key right here is efficiency. So if you search the information about this food on websites, and it's gonna take a lot of time. And the information, as I said in the first slide, is very now concentrated, and it will take like a really long time to get the information that you want to know about. And for a lot of seniors, they might have trouble by using like internet. Like for my grandparents, they don't know how to type, and that's gonna be a big trouble for them to search up for information. So as you said, one of the key advantages right here is that you don't need to type, which is very useful for seniors. And what other question did you ask, Mr.? And what else did you ask about?
I was just trying to see, you know, how do you stay in the game and always ahead of others, right?
Okay. And also, I will keep updating and optimizing the searching model and the app. to make the database more to make a database contains more foods, which makes more beneficial, I would say.
Those are good questions. How big is your, so you developed that technology, scanning, and how big is your like food item? How big is your database?
So right now, I only have 8 food in my database, and each food I have 50 images. So there are currently 400 images stored in the database, which is not a lot compared to like normal like database. And I will for sure add more in my future development. In my future development, which will make it like more accurate and includes more.
Okay. If you have a 10,000, I'll invest.
Not yet. but I will try. I have that amount.
10,000 different food items?
Just 10,000 is not a lot, but if you get to that point,
I think that's a lot. I think. I've just got to tag along what Leanne was saying, that I think you may be underselling yourself if you just go after seniors for this, because everybody likes convenience and efficiency rather than having to type in the word avocado into Google, or not even knowing that it is an avocado, people outside of California. Everybody's going to appreciate the app. So don't just go after that market. You can go after everyone.
Okay, sure.
Okay, couple quick things from me. What does your logo mean? That looks like a baby in a womb to me. What is that?
That is an avocado.
Say it again.
That is an avocado.
That's an avocado. Oh, of course it is. I knew that. I was just testing you to see if you knew. Okay. Second thing. You said you have 10 foods, 50 records right now. You're doing these manually, right? Why not just use the search engine capabilities that are out there with a little AI so it searches all the databases out there and populates your database for you? I don't think you need to enter anything. I think you just need to have some back-end code that is using everything that's already out there. That make sense?
I was going to tag on to that. You can do even less work yourself if you use crowdsourcing technology, like Amazon Mechanical Turk or Crowdflower. It's called Figure 8 now. Just use that. So actually use what you suggested in conjunction with a crowdsourcing platform, and you're going to be able to scale to thousands of items. There's your 10,000. You've got your first investor.
Make sure he gives you the money, okay?
For the crowdsourcing. He's in.
Promised, we heard him.
Yep.
How about questions from the audience? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I actually thought about this before. So I actually have 2 paths to go right now, and I actually have a question for you, sir. So right now, I can actually, like what you said, to like use an online database instead of using a local database. But on the other hand, I can also code my app in the iOS system and publish it on the on the App Store. So like in which path should I go next? Should I go like more deep by like making my database more complete, or I just go like to a wider user?
Okay.
My answer for this would be, as I told the other group, you always test early, just so you get your user interface refined and so on. But I would do it in parallel with building up your database. I think you can do both at the same time.
Okay.
To be honest, yeah.
All right. Thank you for your recommendation.
All right, we're gonna get some Q&A from the crowd here.
Yeah, sure.
I'm personally optimistic for this software, but I do have a question. How do you differentiate between a raw orange and a lime?
That is actually a good question.
I mean, they're the same thing. They're like exactly same thing to my eyes. Yeah, raw oranges or even raw.
You throw the raw orange away.
I mean, like, what if you took down from a tree and then what's on it contextual?
It's gonna make mistakes occasionally, probably.
So that's why we will have more images for each type of food. Since as you can tell, lime is more like yellowish, where orange is more like.
Right, say if it comes off the tree, it's going into the system. There's going to be some confusion, right? Probably.
So I might implement a new system which will give like a recommendation. It's like if the result gives you an orange, maybe there are like a list of recommendation saying that if you want to search, it's like orange instead of like lime.
I feel like you could add restaurants to your program as well. So for example, for personally, I'm a people like shopping. So for example, I saw a random like restaurant. I want to know like how's their dish, like what are some like review about that restaurant. I mean, like you could set up something like about that. So if someone see a random restaurant on the road, you can just tell them, is this restaurant like meet your preference or not? So I think that would be a kind of good part too.
Yeah, sure. I will of course consider that.
Good idea.
So what if you face a camera to a plate with a lot different kind of vegetables and fruits? What would happen?
So usually you will get your camera very close to the specific type of food you want to search about. And if you actually search like more than one food, I don't really think like any result will come out from it. So yeah, you gotta get your camera very close to the food so that you can get like a very accurate thing.
Okay, this can be our last question.
I have a couple considerations / suggestions. So first of all, the age of the person. I know you're talking about seniors, but there are seniors who are 80 and there are seniors who are like 60. The healthy level could be different for different ages. And then my second suggestion is the amount of food. I know we're scanning, like on the demo video, you scanned one cabbage, but it's not healthy if you ate like a whole bucket of cabbages. So that's also another like thing that you can take into consideration.
Yeah, sure.
And then the third one is the form that the food comes in. For example, if you have like cooked carrots and raw carrots, they look different. So how do you recognize both forms of carrots, and how do you have how do you differentiate like whether they're healthy or unhealthy for like different groups of people?
Okay, so what I will do is that I will implement. So I will put different categories for different type of carrots, as you say, and each category I will put images so that you can like differentiate them and not like confuse between them. And then I will add more information for each type of carrots so that you can know about like if it is like beneficial or not for each type.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good job, Patrick. So let's move on. And before we introduce the next project, I'd like to actually really recap what happened last time. So raise your hand if you were here last year in October. All right. So last time we had about a 13 project finished by 13 students. And if you remember, they were here last October because a lot of them were senior. They are going to graduate. They are going to apply colleges and high schools and middle schools. I want to kind of share some of the good news we got over the past few months in terms of where they go, what they got. So if you remember, Kevin, 12th grade student from Beckman, and he got into a couple of schools. I know recently he also got into University of Washington. And also Leo, who built the app to help the student to make the decisions on searching the universities based on your scores. He is actually having some trouble because he is actually trying to figure out which one to choose, either University of Pennsylvania or Berkeley. So he's still thinking about that. And then we also have Kelvin, if you remember. He built a chatbot, and then he got into Berkeley, but more importantly, he got that really early with a lot of scholarship, which is very, very difficult to get. another student, Fidian, if you remember, she built this physical locker, and then she actually got into Caltech. And then she also has a lot of offer from other schools, but I don't want to put them here because I'm sure she's going to be in Caltech in the coming fall. And also Jack got a couple schools outside of California really good. He's also trying to decide where to go. We also had the middle school student Miller, if you remember, he made the piano app, and then he got into Troy High School. And this is Tom's favorite, and then 6th grade student John, and then he actually got into the very good school, the Howard Westlake, and then he's going to be moving out of Irvine and then attend that school in the coming fall. So we're really glad to see actually they, beside their good grades, they put all this efforts after the class and got all this innovation. So we really want to share those with you because especially with students today, those should be your models. Okay, again, as I mentioned, if they can do it, there's no reason that you cannot do it. All right. So with that, let me actually introduce you with our next guest, Mr. Joe Hook. He's a principal attorney from Outreach and Benefit Law Corporation. So let's welcome Mr. Hook.
Thank you. My name is Joel Cook, and I'm a partner at a law firm where I work closely with a lot of banks and other financial institutions. And I also work with some startup companies who have a lot of great ideas with regards to payment systems and virtual currencies, as well as cryptocurrencies, as you may call them. But the product I'm excited about today has nothing to do with financial services. The person I'm introducing has identified a problem that I think you all can relate to and are all affected by. And he not only has identified this problem, but he's come up with a great solution that I think works, and I think it works really well. And I have to say that I think in the future, you'll be in a position to say that this product is a lifesaver. And I'm serious about that. But I'm actually more excited about the person behind this product. I've known him for about 5 years, and ever since I've known him, from the very beginning, it's always very evident that he's quite bright, and he's assertive. He always has a lot of questions, so he's inquisitive, and he's definitely a hard worker. And when there's a problem that he's challenged with, he works until he comes up with a solution that works well and is practical. And all of these are attributes that I think are necessary and crucial for an entrepreneur. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce Solomon Chung.
How's everyone doing tonight? Great. Awesome. So, my name is Solomon Chung, and this is my product, PaperSafe. So, I bet we have all been in this situation before. Okay? We go to use the restroom, finish our business, and then what? We grab for toilet paper, and there's none there. Sorry. So what's the problem? The problem is that it's a big inconvenience, and it causes a lot of embarrassment, because you literally have to scream for toilet paper, until someone gives you a roll. So I invented a device that solves this problem with 4 aspects. So, first thing, bring it out so you guys can. Very practical. All right, so I have laser sensors on each side that detects when there's an empty roll, and a red light will display on top. The second feature is I have ultrasound detection in the front to detect when someone comes nearby. And if there's also detection that there's no toilet paper, it will announce a message saying no more toilet paper. And I also published a mobile app called PaperSafe, so you can view the status in real time anywhere you go. And the fourth thing is prediction. So I combined a set of collected data, so like a training set, and I combined it with artificial intelligence in order to create a usage pattern so that you can view your next replacement date in advance. So some things I plan to do in the future is to collaborate with Amazon so that I can basically have it automatically buy you toilet paper, so that you don't have to worry about it. And also toilet paper price comparison, so that maybe if Amazon's not the best choice, you can find the best price from the best retailers in your area. Here's the video, the demonstration.
Attention, no toilet paper. Attention, no toilet paper. Attention, no toilet paper. Attention, no toilet paper.
So let's talk about the market size. So who doesn't use toilet paper? Literally everyone does. So it can be used in family households, public facilities, office buildings, and even hospitals. So a following survey was given to people of various genders and various ethnicities. So if stranded on a desert island, with one necessity, what would you choose? 49% chose toilet paper even over food. What do you hate about public restrooms? 1 out of every 3 people said an empty dispenser. What is one of the most annoying inconveniences at home? 72% said an empty roll of toilet paper. So for my business model, I plan to sell the whole device, so all in one. And some add-ons that I'll probably be selling is the prediction element by itself, and also the amenity price comparison element, so they're like add-ons, so you pay extra to get those. So out on the market, there's only one other competitor, Roll Scout, but it only uses laser sensor detection, so it doesn't have the rest of my features, including prediction side. For marketing and expanding, I plan to promote my product by using commercials, social media, demonstration retailers such as Home Depot and Lowe's, how they have the display. And I also plan to attend some showcases. So for the funding, I'll need around $15,000 to $30,000 for the manufacturing of the products, the advertising, and also customer service in case you need help with the product, and also to just improve the product itself. Let's get rolling. Thank you for listening.
Well, that was a great presentation. Thank you. Very nice style, very comprehensive. So that was very good. I think I just had, really one thought. When you were doing it, I kept thinking about how even whenever you buy like a razor, it's the razor blades where they make the money, not on the razor itself. Or even like a new printer. You buy the printers and they're so inexpensive because it's the cartridges is where they make the money. So have you thought about going to the toilet paper companies, for example, and having them fund this? Because if they're putting their toilet paper into commercial places, et cetera, it's like that's where the money is as opposed to the device.
So I have not actually brought this to any companies yet, but I plan to do that in the future, like I said, with my collaborations with other companies.
Question? Just a suggestion of business alliance. I think the dementia team is a very good business partner, and also make one of the games ordering toilet paper. So.
Good idea.
Thank you.
I want to piggyback on Leanne's advice. So basically, go talk to whoever owned the most bathroom company. Just tell them I provide the device, but you need to order the toilet paper from me instead. It's a special type of paper, so I think it would be better business model.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Do you think it's going to be cost effective to install your application and the tool versus what people currently have today?
Absolutely, because not only is it cost effective, but it's also very efficient. Because think about it like this. How many times have you guys actually went to go use the restroom and there was just not a roll and it just causes, because like people say, time is money. So it's a little bit in that sense where, of course, it's, you can have your ordinary roll at home, right? But can it predict? Can it send a notification to your phone? And you know it always at all these times? Because I think it really does all add up.
The roll, so it'll tell you, hey, you're almost done before it's over, and you're in danger.
So what will happen is basically it will collect the day that you start, like you insert the roll, so when it's full, and then when it runs out. So like I said, the laser sensor on each side, basically it detects when it gets really low. It doesn't detect, right. So the way it's gonna work is it's gonna be over a course of maybe how many times, maybe you have to refill it like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You know, the more data you get, the more accurate it is, and then it will provide a prediction that way. Okay.
I think I'm following Henry's question. How much do you try to sell this thing?
So I plan to sell it from around 50 to 80 bucks around that area.
What is the price for the regular manual roll holder?
So the manual roll holder is around $20 to $25. They're really expensive nowadays.
So why do you think they want to spend $50 more? Especially like the bathroom facilities, why do they need to spend $50 more while they can hire somebody just to load the bathroom, the tissue papers? How do you plan to persuade them to buy your stuff?
Sorry. So basically, so like I said, so like in public restrooms, let's say they do install it into the public restrooms, right? Like I showed you with the statistics, it said that one out of every 3 people say that they hate having an empty dispenser in a public restroom. So, I'm sorry, what was your question again? I lost my train of thought, sorry.
My question is, how do you persuade people, whoever you want to persuade, to buy your stuff? To spend the additional $50 to install it?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's public restroom, they probably don't even care whether there's paper or not.
True. But it's individual homes, they're going to care a lot, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think because of time, does anybody else on the board have any more questions? Okay, I think we're cool. Thank you very much.
Good job, Solomon. All right, let's see our next project, and we need to introduce another guest. So this time we got a lot of support from families. So this is one of the founders' brother. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Huang, and he's currently an MD student at UC San Francisco. So let's welcome Mr. Huang.
Thank you, Dr. Sun. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Huang, and I'm the brother of Shania Jin, who's the team leader of Team Sugar Bear. It is my honor tonight to introduce you to this group of such talented and yet hardworking young individuals. On every Friday for the past 6 months, I saw them stay in that little building, discussing and working hard on this project, sometimes till 9:30 p.m., and sometimes till 10. The determination and passion I saw in them were remarkable. And I think the outcome of this project really demonstrates their capabilities as the next generation that will help change the future of this country. Most importantly, they're very lucky to have Dr. Sung as their mentor, who is such a kind-hearted and inspiring person. I think all of the team members, including myself, still owe you a round of free 7 Leaves milk tea. Anyway, without disclosing too much information about the project, I would like to now introduce you to the incredible Team Sugar Bear. Please give a round of applause to Carolyn, Sina, Lisa, Shania, and Shirley. Thank you very much.
'Cause I get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they tried to teach me
this one on? Okay. It's working, okay. Hi, we are Team Sugar Bear, and our app is called Sugar Care. Oh, wait, it's not appearing. It's not working.
Oh, now it works.
Okay. It's okay. Okay, so every day, 1 in 10 Americans have to go through the painful hassle of measuring their blood sugar. To measure, you need alcohol prep pads, a lancet, a glucometer, and a notebook to record your results. And this can end up being time-consuming and expensive. And you have to do this up to 7 times a day.
According to a survey done by Diabetic Connect, a social health network dedicated to help people with diabetes, people who don't use their meter regularly complain the procedure is too complicated and the testing strips are too expensive and painful and bloody.
Our solution is the Sugar Care app. The Sugar Care app allows the user to predict their blood sugar level by simply selecting their vague activity. It is painless and doesn't require to purchase any of those testing strips.
The Sugar Care app gives the user a device for healthy and effective diet and exercises from trusted resources. The app Sugar Care also allows the user to see their glucose level history and are shown which diet and exercise has the most beneficial result.
It is proven that type 2 diabetes can be brought into remission if the patient has the normal blood glucose for at least 1 year. It means that even diabetes cannot be cured. Its first symptoms can be relief from having a normal and steady blood sugar level.
While our primary goal to provide users an efficient, cheap, and painless way to predict their blood sugar level, Sugar Care app also allows the users to maintain a steady diet and can bring their diabetes into remission.
And here's our AI machine learning.
We use Python and machine learning, specifically linear regression, to use historic data collected from a user to predict an accurate blood sugar value.
Some of our biggest competitors are MySugar, Blood Sugar Check Diary, SugarSense Diabetes app, and One Touch Reveal. Although these apps are all very well developed, they only serve the purpose of tracking your blood sugar. This means that countless people still have to measure their blood sugar manually.
This can prevent someone from traveling vacations. Our app counters this by providing a way to get your blood sugar level straight from your phone, a feature not explored by competitors.
We plan to show promotion ads of health and medicine brands that are willing to partner with us. We also want to start advertisement and memberships and then gradually develop the relationships between relevant companies. Our app mainly targets the 10% of Americans who are either pre-diabetic or diabetic.
So my name is Shania Jen. I am in 8th grade and I go to Canyon Lake Middle School.
I'm Ishan Lee, and I'm in 8th grade too. I go to Rancho San Joaquin Middle School.
I am Sina Joel. I'm in 6th grade. I'm in Orchard Hill School.
I'm Lisa Yu. I am in 7th grade at Cerro Vista Middle School.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Lee, and I'm in 6th grade, and I go to Orchard Hills.
Well, that was a great presentation, and I think that is a huge market, so I applaud you for coming up with this. I wasn't quite clear, how does it work? Like, how does it measure your blood sugar or whatever?
Okay, so what the user does is on the main screen, there's three buttons. It's blood sugar, history, and tips. So they press the blood sugar button, and then it shows a variety of food categories and exercises. And so what the user does is they select the meal they had. They select based on the pictures the meal they had, and then they input it. And then once they press the button, predict blood sugar, it automatically predicts their blood sugar for them without having them to prick their finger or using a glucometer or anything. So it's just automatic.
Wow. Have you tested it? Like, I mean, it can actually tell, like, I mean, if I'm, say, diabetic, can it tell if I'm getting better or not better? I mean, can it actually tell for me in terms of like my blood sugar, or is it, I don't know if I'm explaining it, or is it giving a general categorization that if you eat this type of food, it should be getting better?
Well, sorry, is there something? So currently it's only a prototype, and we have yet to actually like give it to people to test. But also we plan on adding a first-time survey to learn more about the users, like their demographics, their height, their weight, to learn more about how the blood sugar or how the meals may actually affect their blood sugar. And we also want to add like, okay, so this is Shirley's idea. We want to add like a feature where you can put in the medication you usually use to keep your blood sugar.
Basically, how this app works is you insert your data, like how much you eat, and like your present blood sugar level, and like after like a certain amount of time, the machine will actually learn how much you eat, like like the predict blood sugar level is like something. You get more and more accurate over time.
Okay, my turn. Love Sugar Bear. I love Sugar Care, but I got to tell you, you're more of a Sugar Care than a Sugar Bear, right? I mean, you're selling Sugar Care. So you might want to think about, anybody who's going to hear the name Sugar Bear, they're going to think it's something completely disconnected from what you do. I thought you were selling cupcakes, and I was looking for a sample, okay? I'm not diabetic, so I wanted a few of them, actually. But this is really cool. I think you need a medical doctor. Maybe that's your brother over there, I don't know. But you need a medical doctor to be part of your team. I don't know a lot about this, but I think prediction is a really, really, really tricky thing. You guys got to be really careful. I applaud you. And I'm sorry, the young lady in the middle, what's your name?
Sina.
I just want you to know it's very nice for you to let these old ladies hang out with you. You're the, you know, they're getting kind of long in the tooth, and it's nice for you to let them hang with you.
Okay.
Okay, next question. No?
I can't comment on this. I'm actually doing your business. That's very interesting. But one thing, whatever that you are trying to estimate, number one, like you know FDA, right? You need to get FDA approved what you think. Otherwise, it's estimated. So it's different. That's why One Touch, you know, they have hardware, you know, all the device they got FDA approved. So there's certain accuracy that you need to have. So that's the only thing I can say.
So girls, one quick advice, try to convince Mr. Chen here to buy your company.
All right, do you have more questions? Out here? Come on in the center if you got a question. We'll get you on. Here you go. Thomas.
It's just, I think there may be more categories that you need to predict the blood sugar level. Like different people, like I think that diabetes not only caused by a lot of blood sugar. Maybe it's also something wrong with your that part that digests the sugar. Also, so different people basically it may be not really accurate.
Thank you. He's a skeptic.
So I wanna ask, like, since like for diabetes, for example, they're usually affected by like a lot of factors, like your age, right? And then your heredity, like if your parents have diabetes, you're more likely to have them too. And also they might be affected by your weight and your eating habits. So just having the eating habit as like one of the only factors might not give you like a really accurate estimate compared to like when you actually use.
Go ahead.
Okay, so for our app, it obviously automatically predicts it. But louder? Okay, sorry. According to our research, so you can't cure diabetes because obviously sometimes diabetes is inherited, or sometimes it is actually caused by too much consumption of. But anyways, so our app helps them, because we have a history page that actually shows what kind of exercise is in your previous blood sugar, and it shows you what exercises you have, and it compares the graphs to see, well, when you did this kind of exercise, it resulted in your blood sugar actually being low. And our main goal is to help them keep their blood sugar, steady enough so that the severe symptoms can be relieved. Because diabetes cannot be cured, and yes, all the factors do go into it, and that's why, to help our AI be more accurate, we have a first-time survey. Well, we want to have a first-time survey, but our main goal, I suppose, is to help them keep it steady.
I suggest you ignore all those naysayers here who say that you should be so careful.
I never say it's nay.
Yeah, okay, you didn't say.
I'm working on it, so I can't
Yeah,
tell, man.
yeah. He's just afraid you're going to put him out of business.
Exactly.
So what I would suggest is have your medical doctor, have your brother with you, have a friendly face, some family member who may have diabetes, and try it out with them and compare what your app says and what their actual measurement device says. Try it out. But don't just rely on your app, because I don't want to give that advice now, because now I'm liable. No, compare it. Try it out. You know, you have a cool app. Try it out, you know.
One word, Theranos. You guys don't know what that is? Look it up. Don't become Theranos. You all know what I'm talking about, right? Blood testing company. Big scam. Don't do that. But this is really cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, great job. So we have two more projects. Let's move on. And then next, I would like to introduce another guest, Mr. Matthew Haas. And he's a code instructor at Coding Minds, and he's going to introduce a project from his students.
Thank you. Yes, so my name is Matthew Hawes. I recently graduated with a degree in computer engineering, and currently I teach at Coding Minds Academy. So a lot of the students that I work with, they have very great ideas, very great projects, but sometimes we have students that have something a little extra, a project that has a bit more substance to it, and it has the hard work to go along with it. And I think that our next presenter has that. He has the hard work, he has the drive to do it, and so I want everyone to help me in welcoming Mr. Leo Liu.
I hit the floor cause that's my plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands. Give me some space for both my hands.
Thank you, Mr. Haas. Thanks. All right. So basically, talk about the project I did. It's called Airflow. So from the name, you'll guess it'll be an environmental project. So this is a project about how to use deep learning the pollution level through the environmental detection. So I'm actually from San Diego, so I'm here in this economy. So the problem here is that due to the industrialization, there's several, so you can see the blue cities turn to be all over the dust. So that the pollution level in certain areas can only be detected through, because there's only big factors, such as there's only 2 pollution level defining the entire area, while my purpose is that how to bring those pollution level into smaller regions. So here are different sensors I use for my pollution detection and prediction system. So those are all different values that can detect through the air quality detector, from UV light to light pollution, sound pollution, and basic temperature of the air quality. So here's a circuit board I designed to combine everything together on the sensor so it can more efficiently progress the circuits, so it can boost my signals. So here's just a CAD I created for in case I have created several models of those to combine into like a device that can protect from environmental exposure. So here's a glimpse of the Python script I use for Raspberry Pi. So for the Raspberry Pi, I can control and calibrate my device's numeric numbers, and also how to send the data to Firebase. So the Firebase is actually a real-time data transaction from my Raspberry Pi that can connect the Wi-Fi. So each data have a unique timestamp. So as you can see, there's different timestamp for different values. And here's a glimpse of my website code. So my website, as you can show in the demo, is just something that in transaction prediction machine learning data and also real-time data. So machine learning prediction is a three-dimensional prediction that can have different values, such as mine's latitude, longitude, and location time, to get the value types of different numbers. Here's a demo.
So I connect my device to my Mac. So as I run this file, there are multiple environmental values pop out. And this is directly linked to Firebase. So as you open Firebase, you can see there are different values, timelines over here of different values. So I can access it through my website. It gives different graphs as there's a map, shows different marker from different location. So if I click on one of the location, it can give me a new set of values. I can adjust my timeline through the selection bar. I can say the prediction date to be 2. So here are data running out, and you can see in my server there's mathematical data come out.
So the business model of this can be, we can donate the devices to community and schools and environmental agencies for free. While to provide the access data throughout maybe United States or throughout San Diego, we can access it through databases that actually need patent or verification to access the data. For the market size, basically can go to high population city schools or environmental researchers that are actually interested in gathering data, such as San Diego Canyonlands. I have been working with them to gathering data, and also the industry and also the city management group, for example, for Los Angeles. So my next step is to manufacture the product. So basically, it's a sensor for about $40 for each, and have a circuit board with also a Raspberry Pi. So it's about 100 or more, varies on the qualities, depends on the manufacturer. Thank you.
Great presentation, very nice style. I know we're running short on time, but I'm just curious, did you think about like maybe even somehow using like leveraging a phone for the app? Because I think about even those, you know, that one time on Shark Tank, I remember somebody was doing kind of a blood alcohol level, you know, for smoking, and I think it was a little gizmo that you attach to a phone. And just since so many people have this, and the nature of kind of the pollution and seeing the air quality, I could even see people on planes or people in, you know, different areas at schools or, you know, like smoking areas wanting to be able to have something even more accessible. So have you thought in that direction yet?
Yes, so basically the product actually uploaded to like the website I created, so it's all accessible for the public. So which means that if I upload device, it goes into the database and everyone on the website can access the data through the marker. So does that answer your question? Like how to, maybe also like a mobile are you talking about like a mobile?
Well, yes, having some kind of more, that's probably it, like a more mobile app that almost like you could have something with you and you could still be testing the air quality and everything, you know, like, the device on the phone as opposed to like an attachment or a gizmo on the phone maybe, as opposed to having the separate device, since then I think it just broadens your market application, you know, in terms of to individuals and to many other people, just over time. But thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
A very well thought out solution, and it's a very serious product. Just curious, you didn't mention about any competitors, what's out in the world. So how do you compete with existing solutions?
Yes. So basically right now, I'm searching that their air or pollution detectors on the market is usually that heavy and also like accurate machines that usually at set locations, while I'm looking at like a portable device that can be charged by solar panel that I've been developing with like the lithium batteries. Also, it can be access to the Firebase, so everyone can update data while it also can be accessed online. So the difference between that, the air pollution they have is just some industrial level pollution that detects local data.
So same thing here is a great product. I think you know, you definitely, I think your sale is going to catch some wind, right? This is the, you know, it's the right time. There's a big wave, and it's not only an economic concern, but it's also a social, environmental, you know. So it's a great thing. But one thing I would like to ask is that you know, when you're doing a business, great product is a great start. But let's say that's an idea, that's an R&D, but the execution part, right? And this is kind of it's a heavy product, right? It got R&D, it got manufacturing, you got all this legal, environmental, and government relationship, and all of this, right? This is a whole package. So what kind of team you're going to put together, and what kind of talents you think you're going to need on this, and what kind of incentive you're going to give to all these great people that you put on your team so that they can work together and they have a rather stable team over time that keep motivated and do this. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So one thing I'm being talked about is that if we implement this thing into the market, there are more serious problems that came afterwards, such as there's maybe the sensitivity spot of the industries or like the government security system. So the thing is that if we want to put this on the market, we have to combine a team. So as you say, like this is a big project, we cannot do it alone. So maybe we can work with environmental organizations. So they're maybe interested. I've been, for example, Scripps, Oceanology Laboratory is interested in the climate change and also those things. So we can collaborate with them to detect and do like a research on the airport.
Okay, and let me jump in. I think this is really cool. I think Leanne had a really important idea that you need to hear, and that is, if you're going to build a $100 device, because it's $100 in parts, right? Not $100 total. You're going to have a heck of a time, unless there's a Rockefeller behind you who's going to give you all the money. You need to think of a way to sell this, and imagine if it's just a small plug-in. Plugs in the bottom of your phone, which is just a sensor pack, and it communicates with your website. You're going to get people spending $25, $30 for that to become part of your team, the Airflow team. But if you're talking 100 plus labor plus, you're going to have a heck of a time. This is why there are so few sensors for earthquakes in California. They're free, or they cost money too. And to get them all over everywhere takes a lot of time and a lot of money. You might want to just think about the model and then essentially crowdsourcing the dickens out of this, not just in getting the money, but in turning it into a mobile device / mobile app.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Everybody's quiet? Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Liu. All right, so last project, but not least, It's our great pleasure to have another investor today, Mr. Liu from Wentong Capital. So he's going to introduce our last project today.
Thank you, Dr. Well, I think we had a great night, 7 presentations. I'm glad to be able to introduce the last one, and also the presenter, Art Shea. Art, which is in his 10th grade, like any other 10th grade. He has a busy school life, and also he enjoys reading, enjoys sports. He has his own famous sneaker brand. Several years ago, a personal, out of his personal experience, something sparked his interest into study, observation, and his dedication toward his project, where he's trying to solve a problem where a particular symptoms affect some kids and also their families. So with his dedication and several years' work, and think tonight, Art is going to present his work, his project, his solution for that particular symptoms. And here's Art. Thank you.
Oh, you turn out fine, but you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey.
So I'm the last one tonight. All right. So hello, my name is Art Zhu, and today I'll be presenting Simply, the app for the autism community. The main inspiration for my app comes from my cousin Amber. She is currently 11 years old and has level 2 autism, which means she cannot speak. This makes it very difficult for my aunt to take care of her whenever she's around. My aunt has to watch over her like a hawk, or else there's no reason to what she may do throughout this time. So this makes it very hard for her to do anything else in the house, and it makes it hard for them to communicate. So my app aims to help families like my aunt and so much more communicate with their children a lot easier. So what is the problem with autism? Well, the autism community is often left untouched. On average, in America now, 1 in every 59 child will have autism, will have some level of autism. And at all levels of autism, a mass amount of support is needed. So around the clock support and just helping them with their communicative abilities is always needed. That's why also there's so little help for these people right now. So my solution is an application, Simply. So my application allows users, mostly dedicated towards a child, to communicate with their parents a lot more easily. As you can see right now, the interface is very simple. Once a child clicks the child button, this grid will show up. And once a button is pressed, that button will correlate to a message that will be sent to the parent's phone, which will alert them what the child is doing without them having to be in the same exact room or in the same presence. So as you can see, when you click the child button and I click I am hungry, the parent on their phone will receive the message, I am hungry, so they would know what the child would want. As you can see, the interfaces are very simple, the buttons are large, and therefore it is very easy to navigate throughout the app. Currently, there are 1.6 million children and people with autism, but this does, 18 out of 195 countries have done sufficient research on autism. In these 18 countries, there is a total of around 3 million people with autism. If you multiply that number by 2.5, which is the average household, you will get a number of around 7.5 million users. This is potentially a huge market because it excludes the 177 other countries who have not done any type of research for autism. So my business model is pretty straightforward. The app will, to begin with, be free to download. After 10,000 downloads, I will be working on to run advertisements on my own app as well as on other communicative applications. From there, I will collect data from my application which would be used to cooperate with other organizations to help further their research. Here's a graph comparing my app to the top competitors right now through the categories of their simplicity, their ability to communicate, and their ability to be customized. As you can see, Only Simply has all 3 check marks. The top competitor right now, which is Saki, only has 1 because its customer reviews state that 1, it is not simple. It looks exactly like a chat message that every other app would use, therefore making it hard for the patient to use. And its ability to be customized, the parents just can't work it out, and therefore the child has a hard time working it as well. I believe that advertising and promoting my application at special events, such as the Special Olympics, is a great way to market it. I have been an avid member or been a participant of the Special Olympics, and I've been there for over a year now, so I have a very close connection with the athletes as well as the coordinators and the managers, so I know that the autism community is very tight and compact and very inclusive. From there, with enough recognition, I'll also like to spread my application to special educational programs in schools and other educational institutions. Lastly, cooperating with the Autism Research Institute not only benefits them with their research, but also gives us a really great face and name. So the funding needed today is around $50,000. For right now, most of that money will be generated into marketing, but later on, app development and the maintenance of those applications will also be prioritized. Thank you.
I just want to say I think that's an excellent presentation. I think it was so well thought out, and I think it is a huge opportunity. I really like the marketing plan. I like the simplicity of it, in terms of for the person, with autism, and then for the caregiver, whether that's parent or, aunt or uncle or whoever's with them, really anybody could pick it up and use it. So I thought that was really nice. And so I don't really have any questions right now. I'll just turn it over to others because I think it was really great. I think it's very well thought out. I think you have a natural affinity, because you understand the market, and you have on-roads into Special Olympics, because I think that's a really great place, and the autism community, I think, would really welcome it. So I hope you get your funding, because I think it's a really good,
Thank you.
very well thought out.
Thank you.
Thank you for the good project. It shows that you have personally experienced the challenge of having family or friends with this type of issue. Just curious, the 9 or 12 symbols for the person with autism to communicate, are those research results or something you invented so far?
Those, you're talking about the second page with the diagrams of the buttons, correct? So those buttons are just normal needs that I looked online. What do children with autism mostly need? And it's mostly just emergency, contact, I'm hungry, stuff like that. So I put that into a grid. And the reason I need the $50,000, which is so much more than anyone or presented here, is because I need, well, I don't need it, but the application needs this money to help or improve the application itself. So I would like to be able to make customized applications for what the children need themselves. Like if they if they have a specific toy they like and they want to play, they can use that specific toy as the button. So I want to be able to customize the buttons and also along for things along the line.
So great comment. So it's good to have a inspiration, especially solving a problem that means something to you. That's always a good start. My only comment is the copycat issue, like how your diagram show competitors, which is excellent, right? Simplicity. You talk about communication. You talk about, what's the third one? Yeah, so I think, the point is, how do you, because I'm an app developer, right?
Yeah.
So I can look at your idea, great. So I'll make one too. So I think that how you differentiate yourself from somebody like me, I can easily copy your app. I think that's something that you need to think about.
Yeah, I think that is something that needs to be think about. I think every good idea has that problem. If you give an idea and people also like it, then there's gonna be a huge market about it. But the thing about my app right now is I looked on the Google Play Store and there's no app that does what I do except for Saki, which has terrible reviews. But since the group or the people who want to use it is like so tight and compact, since I know these patients and athletes from like a first-person perspective, they don't like to open up about their problems. So I think if the app is kept to this inclusive autism community, that is how it could really thrive.
Just a quick one. In the interest of simplicity, from an user interface point of view, do you need your first screen between for patient and for parent? Because you don't.
Yeah, I believe a better way that I could have done this was probably to make two separate applications, one for the child to use and one for the parent. Another thing I want to work on is being able to sign into an account either through Google or Facebook, so then you can store the data from when you last used it. So maybe if you use your device, you could create a new account on a different device and not have the same exact layout that you used before.
That's good.
Thank you.
Okay. Love your logo. I have no idea what it means, but it's really cool. Does it mean anything?
I chose it because it looks like a parent like holding it to their.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now that you tell me. All right. I think just like one of our prior ones, you need to get a doctor involved in your product. When you talk about using or selling or monetizing your data, boy, do you need to be careful compared to most any other business. Anything connected to medical, anything connected to kids, anything connected to special needs kids. You're just the most sensitive area in the world.
Yes.
So you got to be really careful about that. And then I think you should call Jenny McCarthy. That's her, and you should just beg her to become a shareholder for free so that you can get her involved because she's like the queen of this, isn't she? Right? I mean, I don't know. She probably lives a few miles from here. But go ahead, call her up and see if she'll hang out with you.
I will.
All right.
Sounds good.
Hey, we're done for the night unless there's any questions from the crowd. Crowd? Okay. Thank you.
Done. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Art. So I know we're running really late. I think we are able to wrap up the event within 10 minutes. So what we want you to do next is, so everyone should have this piece of paper with a list of projects. And if you can, simply mark the top 3 projects you like. That's going to give us some input on the People's Choice Award. One correction I need to make is the 5th project, the paper safe. We got the wrong name there. So the 5th project, if you're interested in that toilet paper from Solomon, that actually has a wrong name. So if you can turn that into the front desk, have a 5 minutes break. Feel free to talk to the founders we have and ask more questions, give feedback. We're coming back in 5 minutes once the judges finish their feedback and ranking, and then we're going to wrap up at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we need an app.
I'm coming out of the shadows. I'm
Oh.
into the light.
What do you think? Top three? Quiet. Anybody stop?
While I'm quite hungry with a taste for blood, but I can't hide behind my feet. And if it pleases you, that's what I will do. I'll not smile politely agree and sit my hat to my Lizzie on the left-hand side. Although I'm damn sure she doesn't know me. I'm coming out of the shadows. I'm coming into the light.
Business star. Innovation. Business star. Business. What's really market?
It seems the world's falling down around me. The nights are long. I'm singing the song to try and make the answers more than maybe. And I'm so confused about what to do. Sometimes I wanna throw it
Innovation. Okay with that, guys? And then last one.
Innovation. Okay, yep.
I'm trying to sleep. I lost count of sheep. My mind is racing faster every minute.
That's cool, that.
What could I do more? Yeah, I'm really not sure.
All right.
You better believe it.
I run it with this video. You write well? You have nice handwriting? What do you have?
Do you have this one here?
This choice? Yeah, but we need to find
So here I am, growing older all the time.
That's baby. He can write well. Baby can write well. Baby can write well.
Let's do this. We gotta get it done. Almost 9 o'clock. People my age have Alzheimer's disease and have to go to bed.
Okay, I'll write it.
All right. So that goes to 5.
had a dream. We were sipping whiskey neat. I used to have Bowery, and I was high enough.
That's fine.
We stopped seeing eye to eye. You were staying out all night, and I had enough. No, I where you been or where you going, but I know I won't be home, and you'll be on your own. Who's gonna walk you through the dark side of the morning? Who's gonna rock you when the sun won't let you sleep? Who's waking up to drive you home when you're drunk and all alone? Who's gonna walk you through the dark side of the morning?
The last one. And a bunch of famous numbers for people's choice. Okay, so now, my first, second, third now?
Back to 17, summer nights and the libertines, never growing up. I'll take with me the
First,
words and the boys. But you know I'm gonna leave behind.
Reminiscent.
Everybody else.
Through the dark side
Well, either directly.
Who's gonna rock you when the sun won't let you sleep? Who's waking up to drive you home when you're drunk and
That's
Who's gonna walk you through the dark side of the morning?
No, it's reminiscent. Not reminiscent. Oh!
Man, I was
This is the first time I heard one of these, but I'll go back to that. We have number 2. Actually, it's a tie. Quiet, Booty. Choice.
Yeah, it is. So I was.
We have sugar bear already.
back in the day.
We have sugar bear.
Boy, it was like I don't even want to.
Yeah,
No, it's like oh my.
yeah,
I know. I'll just wait. Just wait. Don't turn in the program back, does it?
Get some other guy.
Yeah, exactly.
We have sugar bear is one word. That's
You have to pause it.
also one person's choice.
Go about it. Exactly.
Oh, they're mixing in here. Yep. there. Yeah.
We fall in apart, still we hold together. We pass the end, still we chase forever. Guess this is all we know. This feeling
When I was 10, I was everybody. Joe likes
down the streets, right through the city. I'll go everywhere you go. From Chicago to the coast, you tell me hit this and let's go. Blow the smoke right through the window. 'Cause this is all we Guess this is all we know. Guess this is all we know.
See you next.
Well, it would have been, could have been worse than you would ever know. On the dashboard, melted, but we still had the radio. Oh, sure.
okay.
Oh, sure. Oh, it says on there.
So, everybody's attention, we have, I don't need a microphone, do I? I don't need a microphone. I'm Irish. Okay. So, the three Judges' Choice Awards. And when I say can you come up and get your award, healthy footy, number one. Are you guys here? Are you here? Come on up. And your Judges' Choice Award. Mother or whoever it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you took the pictures already. Okay. One more. Maybe this one goes into time. Next one. Thank you. One for Judges'
Okay, and I get to do the People's Choice Awards, which is really, really great. So we have 3, no particular order. So first one, Healthy Foodies. Okay. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, you'll get. Okay. The second one is, huh? Oh. The second one, again, no particular order, so 2 of 3, Reminiscence. Okay. And the third People's Choice goes to Sugar Bear.